I think a lot of the times when we're on this journey of self-improvement, right? And we're doing all the right things to change our old habits, to change our negative beliefs and our negative ways of thinking. It might seem as if the more you strive for change, the more you become tempted to fall back into your old patterns, right? And this can generate a whole lot of frustration within us. Sometimes it might even discourage us to just stop on our journey of self-improvement or self-realization or whatever you want to call it. And I think the thing that we fail to realize is that, it's natural. It's absolutely natural, and it is something that is meant to happen. Which is why I think that it's important for us to give ourselves grace while we're on this journey. To give ourselves some leeway to mess up. To give ourselves just a tad bit of compassion. Right? If you think about it, let's say you're watching this video and you're 35 years old, or you're 30, or you're 25, or you're 20, or even 18, however old you are. Let's say you're watching this video and you're of that age. You spent most of your life with these negative ways of thinking and these old habits and negative beliefs, right? And a lot of us, the day we were born, the day we came out the womb, the people that we were surrounded by, they literally programmed these beliefs, systems, and these ways of thinking and the ways we view the world and we view ourselves into us. These were things that we picked up unconsciously, right? And if you understand that a lot of these things are not from us, and we've actually made an identity from these things for most of our lives, then we begin to understand that when you're striving to make change, it will take time. When you're striving to change, you're not going to do it immediately. And I think that we're so obsessed with this idea of fast change, right? Everyone is trying to speed up change and trying to, get somewhere as quickly as possible. And life doesn't work like that, right? Change takes time for most people. And even for the people who change overnight, that's something that doesn't happen regularly. That's an anomaly, right? And I believe that, we've created a society that is sort of obsessed with self-improvement, right? We're obsessed with becoming and achieving and getting somewhere. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying self-improvement in and of itself is a bad thing, right? My entire channel is based around self-improvement and self-realization, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not saying self-improvement is a bad thing, right? What I am saying is that in your endeavor to change and while you're striving for change, you have to give yourself grace. You have to give yourself compassion, right? I believe that the world lacks grace and the world lacks compassion, especially towards ourselves. We have this idea that we have to be somewhere as quickly as possible, right? And I'm not saying don't strive to become better. Everyone should be striving to become a better version of themselves, right? But what I am saying is that in the process of changing and the process of striving for change, give yourself grace and appreciate who you are right now in this present moment. Because any act of becoming and any act of change, right, can only be done properly if you know how to be present and be in the here and the now. Because think about this. Let's say you were to become the person that you have in your mind. Let's say you were to become the person that you want to become, right? Let's say you got to that point in your life. The thing about it is you wouldn't even be able to recognize that you become that person because you'll be striving to become someone else, right? And you're always on this path or on this rat race of becoming and becoming and becoming. And you don't really take the moment to realize that you've changed, right? You're always striving to become something or to become someone else. And I found myself, a lot of times I found myself in that trap for a large period of my journey. I didn't even take the moment to realize that I've grown so much. I didn't take the time to realize that I've changed so much compared to the person that I was, a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And I didn't realize that because I was thinking and I was trying to become someone else. And that just made the entire journey of self-improvement and growing more painful, right? I didn't appreciate who I was, right? I just wanted to become someone else, but I couldn't be in the moment and appreciate who I was in the moment, right? So I believe that any act of self-improvement has to have within it both an aspect of self-improvement itself and self-acceptance and self-appreciation, right? A lot of the content on social media, YouTube, whatever it is, we don't deal with the aspect, or we don't speak a lot about the aspect of self-appreciation. We speak on the aspect of becoming and achieving, right? Very few people speak about you appreciating who you are in the moment. And what is the purpose of life if you cannot appreciate who you are? You're always going to feel as if you're not enough. You're always going to feel as if someone else is in front of you, or that you're so behind compared to the rest of the world, right? And another thing I want to mention is that the reason why you're trying to self-improve is also major. It's very crucial to understand why you're trying to self-improve. If you're trying to self-improve from a feeling of self-hate, right? It's only going to create more self-hate. But if you're trying to improve from a feeling of self-love and a feeling of self-appreciation, and you just wanting the best for yourself, then you're going to generate more self-love. But no act of self-improvement that is done from the perspective of self-hate will take you any closer towards loving yourself. And I believe the ultimate goal in life is to discover or rediscover your authentic self and love that person. So if you're becoming someone, right, and if you're striving to become someone and you're not getting closer to loving yourself, then that means you're doing something wrong on your journey, right? That means you're either doing it from a place of resentment towards yourself, right? Or you're trying to escape from yourself. So it's really crucial for us to understand why we're self-improving. It's also important for us to be patient, right? Be patient with ourselves. Be patient with our journey in general. Your journey isn't meant to be compared with anyone else. The path is only made for you to walk. And a lot of the times we get trapped in the idea that we're supposed to be like someone else, or we're supposed to be where someone else is. But if you're not walking the same path as that person, you're not in a competition with them, right? The only person that is on your path is yourself, right? And if you're the only person that is on your path, then you have to give yourself grace, right? The journey itself is the reward, not the destination. So if you're striving to get somewhere and your sense of fulfillment or your sense of wholeness comes from you getting somewhere, then you're doing it wrong. The journey is the destination. The journey is what you should enjoy. So I say all this to say, if you're self-improvement, if you're trying to become a better version of yourself than you are now, it's important that you give yourself grace. It's important that you understand that any act of change or any act of striving to change takes time. It's also important for you to understand that while you're striving to become a better version of yourself or to ascend, you have to appreciate who you are right now in the moment. Because if you don't appreciate who you are right now in the moment, or if you're not able to live in the moment, then even when you become the person that you want to become, then you won't appreciate that person as well. And you won't be able to live in the moment as well. And so you're always on a rat chase of becoming without appreciating. So give yourself grace, right? Be grateful for the growth that you've made. Be grateful for the person that you're becoming. And like I said before, it's not the destination that's the goal. The journey in itself is the goal. The journey in itself is the reward, right? That's what it is. That's what it's about. And another thing that I want to say to you guys is that self-improvement is supposed to help you foster more self-love. It's supposed to help you sort of embody a sense of self-love. So if you're self-improving and you don't feel as if you're developing more self-love, then you're probably doing it wrong. There's something along the way that you're not doing right. And you need to do some introspection. You need to do some introspection and to find out what it is that you're doing wrong. Right? But like I said before, give yourself time. Right? Be patient with yourself. You're human. You're not perfect and you never will be perfect. And once you understand that you're always gonna be getting somewhere. Right? You're always gonna have something that you can improve on. So appreciate who you are right now and give yourself grace. Peace and blessings.